This is our nightly kick-around of all things World Cup. Peter Welton, Andy Swift, and Lars on World Cup Kick-Around. Brought to you by Pantalones Organic Tequila, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket.
Under the crossbar, and it's been deflected in as well. They've got the goal, it's Plata. How big is that for Ecuador? Wow! Sensational stuff here at New York, New Jersey. Ecuador go ahead. They may well stay in this World Cup.
Welcome to World Cup Kick-Around and our coverage of Match Day 15 of said World Cup for Sports Radio 96.7 and 1310, The Ticket. Don't forget you can find out all the details about how you can catch up on the episodes that you may have missed or whatever you want to do over on our website, thekickaround.com. I'm here today live from Boomer Jacks in Louisville. To my right, he's here, Andy Swift.
Reporting for duty.
And right to my, wait, that doesn't sound right. And to my left, he's here, your favorite Norwegian and mine, Lars.
Hello, everyone.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing very well, Peter.
You look rested today.
I am rested today.
Yes. Well, here we are live at Boomer Jacks in Louisville, right off I-35. They got all kinds of specials we'll get into. They have literally, and I counted, a bajillion televisions.
Yeah.
And they're all bigger than the size of Norway.
That's an official count, by the way, the bajillion, yeah.
The bajillion,
Yeah.
yes. Lars, do you have a particular favorite television in here?
It is the biggest one because, as we all know, being European, big things confuse me. I'm not used to seeing them. But again, joking aside, that is an unusually large television. This is clearly a good place to watch football.
Andy, how's your day been?
Full of soccer again.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Are you overflowing with the soccer?
You know, we're getting to that point where I'm feeling like a 48-team tournament perhaps might be a little bit more than
your attitude is
that I was prepared for.
Are you turning to the dark side? Are you joining me?
I might. Do I sound European now? Like
you're complaining about something. So you're one of my people now. That's very good. You've joined up.
No. But Lars warned us very early that this might be an issue as we got to this point in the tournament, and he was spot on. But you know what? We're powering through.
Tournament burnout is a real thing. I'm not feeling it. I had it last week for some mysterious reason, but currently now I'm feeling good.
Yeah. So wait, Lars is in this moment the bigger World Cup nerd?
Wow.
Yes, I'm the one who's impervious to the burnout.
And you're actually watching all the games.
Yes, I still am, yes.
How is double fisting it going today?
That's an unfortunate phrase, Peter, and I prefer it if you never used it again. But yeah, it's going pretty well. Yeah, I've been able to watch everything.
I just assume you hold a phone in one hand and your computer in another.
No, I have one of these great big projectors where you can put a multi-view thing going.
Man.
Typically, the method for double screening is well established. I've talked about this on the show before. What you want to do is have maybe a laptop on your lap and another game on the thing, and then you have the sound from one, and then you keep your eyes on the other. This is how you do it.
You figured out a system.
Focus with your eyes on one game, and then just let the commentary tell you when something is going on the other one.
Lars,
that's how you double screen.
Would you like to share with the P1s the size of the screen of the projector is shooting onto in your...
I mean, it's not as big as the one here at Boomer Jacks, but you know what? It's closer than you'd think.
Because this is a big one here
Yes.
at Boomer Jacks.
Yes, but it is also, it's
Very
bigger than
big.
any television I've ever had in my own possession, that's for sure.
Andy, I just want to point out, I'm really proud of you and I for setting Lars up in such opulence for 2 months.
Yes,
I
you've done well there.
We've taken care of our Norwegian friend.
To just get him out of the house to our studio is like a minor miracle with the setup he has.
Between that and the Alto situation, this is an extremely luxurious assignment for me, I have to say.
No, we don't have to put him in the W or the Mansion or Hotel Zaza. We'll put him in a even nicer place.
Yeah.
We've taken care
There's
of
a pool there as well, people. Would you believe?
And
the
5 minutes
European
from the
mind
golf
cannot
course.
comprehend.
5 minutes from golf.
Yeah, there we go.
I love it. I love it so very much. Well, thanks for everybody joining us. Thanks to all the P1s that have made it out here to Boomer Jacks and Louisville. We'll be here for probably the next 90 minutes because it's one of those days where there's so much soccer.
Mm-hmm.
6 more
also
games
known
today.
as every day during this World Cup somehow.
No, but no. Yesterday through Saturday, these 4 days, it's like especially
They are
intense,
brutal.
right?
They are brutal.
Yeah,
six matches.
Yeah, I'll repeat what we said yesterday. Prior to yesterday, we had completed, I think it was 42, or was it 48? I think it was 42 or 46, somewhere in the 40s of group stage games over the course of 2 weeks. By the end of Saturday, which is 4 days, we will have played 24 more games.
And you know what? After all that, after Saturday, we have arrived at the same number of entrants into the tournament as we started with.
Oh, there's European
Did
Lars.
we need that
Okay,
FIFA? I'm not sure.
But
the saving,
I was wondering.
The saving grace is a lot of
Okay.
these games have been very fun. I cannot deny it. It's been not a lot of snoozers, though unfortunately one is unfolding in front of our very own eyes.
Yeah, well,
in Dallas, Japan, Sweden. Not a great game of football so
we
far.
are, speaking of which, there's a lot of soccer today. We're halfway through it because we just kicked off the second half or the third quarter, whatever you want to call it, of the mid games, which is Group F up in Kansas City. I'm kind of surprised this game got underway based on the thunderstorms that appeared to be getting ready to roll through the Kansas City area before the game.
Hey, your weather app called that yesterday.
I know.
Yeah.
The Netherlands are leading that game 2-0, and so Netherlands are topping the group. And then in Dallas, or in Arlington, as Lars mentioned, it is Japan and Sweden at Donuts.
Yes.
And you're saying it has not been a very good
It has, sadly,
match
it
of
has
footy?
not. And this is one of those games that people describe as tactical, which is a nonsensical phrase because every game is tactical. There are tactics in every game. Just some tactics are different than others. But it's a cagey game. It's a game of two teams who are not risking a lot. I think we only had 6 shots in all the first half.
Part of the issue is that Sweden, where they draw, would advance, but with a loss, likely does not.
Yeah.
They're in a worse position than Japan, so they're going to be a little bit more on the cautious side, right?
I
And
got
that's
this
what we're
wrong.
seeing.
I had my permutations wrong. I thought we were going to get a fun game. I didn't realize. I should have listened to Andy.
I said 3-2 though. But that was
So
pre-tournament.
you didn't listen to yourself.
But that was pre-tournament,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Pre-tournament, yeah.
Both teams to score here. Lars's lock of the day, by the way. So
Both teams.
nil at halftime. Love that for me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Lars' lock from yesterday.
Yes.
Man,
The increasingly satirical feature.
we're going to have a class action lawsuit against
We're
the
going to have a
ticket.
late flurry of goals in this game.
Is that what's going to happen?
I don't think so right now, but we'll see.
So, a friend of ours, a good P1 of the show, I won't say his name out loud, although the story was in the morning news today. He ended up meeting some of the Japanese fan groups.
I read the story.
And is this
The one with travel to Mexico?
Yes. And so he ended up meeting with one of the Japanese fan groups that had walked into his business, and he ended up making a friend with them. Michael did. And the Japanese guy said, yeah, the fan group is about to get on a charter bus and travel to Mexico to go watch the next Japan game.
Yes.
And Michael looked at him and said, you got room for one more? And so that began the 36-hour journey of Michael joining a Japanese supporters group all the way to Mexico, going to the Mexico game
Monterrey.
the Japan game in Monterrey, and then all the way back to Dallas.
No hotel.
No.
Just don't stop and go.
We need to have him on the show after the tournament so he can tell that story.
Pretty incredible.
I'm not sure it's some A-tier World Cupping going on right there. It's the highest. A gentleman who spontaneously befriends some Japanese people and goes on a long bus journey to Mexico. There's really no other scenario in which that happens that I think is glorious.
He's been to the last several World Cups. He said this is by far the most, the best World Cup thing he's done.
Yes. Well, today FIFA did announce that they there's a bit of shading in that because they've played a lot more games to this point. But I will say this. If you do the math, they have blown past the per-game average of any World Cup prior to this, which is now they're currently averaging just about 65,000 people a game. The average World Cup game prior to this averages somewhere between 47 and 51 or somewhere in that.
But this is why this sort of perpetual so annoying because don't do the whole on the big screen saying, "Whoa, we've sold more tickets than ever." It's like, well, yes, of course you have. There are more games than ever.
But hold on.
It would be
Stop.
really hard not to sell more tickets than ever.
Stop. We have played less games than the last format World Cups played. So it happened before those many games were played.
So what Peter's saying about the average being high, that's a good stat. That's a true stat. And even if it's averaged out.
I know, but the fact that they did it before they got to the number of games.
The same number of games.
Yeah, is a truthful.
I'm not denying that a lot of people are. There are big stadiums. There are a lot of people. It's a silly record.
Lars is always going to poke on the FIFA.
Guess
bear.
what? Loads more goals have been scored than ever before. Either more balls have been kicked. There have been more free kicks. It turns out when you have more games, this stuff happens.
Right, but we played less games so far than the whole World Cups.
I don't like it when Mommy and Daddy fight.
No, I'm just spewing out statistical facts.
Yes,
I'm pointing. You can spew out opinion, or you can talk in fact. I'd prefer to just talk in
Lars
fact.
and Andy have to ride home in a car together.
Facts.
Good fun. Oh, boy. Oh, World Cup Kick-Around has started magically today at Boomer Jacks in Louisville. Before we take our first break, it is time now for Andy Swift's nightly, magically difficult World Cup quiz question of the day.
I would love if people in the crowd could help out with this.
Did you guys know that Germany's loss today to Ecuador in group play was their first ever loss to a South American team in group play?
I did not know that.
Yes. So there's one other traditional power, European traditional power, and we can include all the teams that made it to the final. So let's add Croatia, Netherlands, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, whatever. All those traditional powers. There's only one left that has never lost to a South American team in group play.
And it's a European power?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 8 of them. So this is an easy question because you have a 1 in 8 chance.
Say it's
you
an
have a
easy
1 in 8
question
chance
every night, and I get it wrong every night.
1 in 8 chance. So there you go.
See, Lars?
So in the tournament,
Lars, you're getting suckered
in the World Cup, in group play.
Yeah.
He's suckering you into a trick answer.
In the history of the World Cup, only one traditional superpower
Does this
from
only
Europe.
include people who are here at this tournament?
I'm boycotting.
No, it's one of the.
Okay.
No, not doing this. Not doing this. See what he's listen to what he's done to you, Lars. He's completely set you up to think that you know the answer because it seems obvious, and then when we get to the answer in 90 minutes from now, he's going to turn it around and absolutely make it a thing.
And we go live to Kansas City. We don't actually, but we can say from Kansas City that Tunisia have got a goal back against the Dutch, 2-1. They're having a great time. A moment to celebrate for the poor Tunisians.
So this is important because if Japan was to take a lead and win this game and Norway ties, that drops Norway to – doesn't that throw –
Netherlands, you mean.
The Netherlands. I'm sorry. The Netherlands.
Almost a goal for Japan.
Yeah, if the Netherlands draws and Japan wins, then Japan goes to first, Netherlands drops to second, which means they play Brazil?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. It would be the Dutch and Brazil. And wouldn't that be a game in Dallas? Isn't that the July?
No.
Oh,
it's not in Brazil.
Okay.
I mean, it's not in Dallas,
Okay.
but it is a game.
I know somebody was saying if the bracket came out that the Brazilians and the Dutch could play in the round of 32 in Dallas. Okay.
Houston.
Very good. Wow. All right, so obviously you heard the crowd. There was a good shot.
There's also a VAR check going on in Kansas City. Tunisia are just not having a great tournament, are they? Nothing, absolutely nothing is going their way.
Why? They just hired the most handsome coach.
They're
They're having a great tournament.
That's true. Handsome Renard is present, and everything is a little bit better when he's around.
Right.
How is this referee doing in the Tunisia-Netherlands? Have you seen? Okay, I didn't know if you'd noticed it.
We've been preparing the show, Peter.
She's a really good referee, and I was curious how she was doing because I have not seen her call a game yet.
The goal stands. It is still.
She's been the fourth. You're
the
right.
Netherlands won. Tunisia won.
All right,
Netherlands
2-1. The Dutch over the Tunisians.
Yeah.
So Harve Renard has already paid off.
Yeah, and Japan really starting to get a grip on this game against Sweden. They've had the most possession. They've created a couple of half chances. Things not looking bright for the Swedes.
All right. Sorry, guys, back at the station. We're running super late. So now you know what Andy's World Cup question of the day is. We will answer it at the very, very end of the show. You know why, good dear listener. We come back. We'll preview the big thing everybody's excited about, the USA at 9 o'clock tonight. We'll preview the game. right next on World Cup Kick-Around. Lars's lock is a winner tonight. Man, so much has happened since we went to commercial break.
We're putting on the song.
3 goals?
And we're putting on Sweden's song from World Cup 94?
Yes.
That's top production work, guys. So good.
Lars is so
Look
happy.
at this.
The Netherlands have got a third goal, which I don't know is going to be chalked up as an own goal or not. Because it was headed on.
It's a brilliant left-footed strike by Anthony Alanga from the edge of the area. That's from the corner of the penalty box.
The Japanese scored a very nicely worked goal that was tapped in from about the 6-yard box, and then a few minutes later, just as we were coming back from commercial break, Anthony Alanga from Nottingham Forest. What a nice left-footed finish into side netting at the far side. I love it.
So you weren't. It was me and Andy who went to the Sweden Open training. I kept saying Alanga's looking sharp. At the Sweden, he was looking whenever they were doing finishing drills. Alanga was popping them in the top corner, whereas Gyökeres was hitting them into the stands.
You were not saying he was looking sharp.
I did say something like this. No, he was. Gyökeres looked really bad, but Alanga was on it. And we've now seen against the Dutch, Alanga came on, scored a great goal. Here he comes on. Should Alanga have been playing more?
All right, well, let's real quickly. Tonight at 9 o'clock, it is the third game for the United States as they are out in L.A. finishing up group play in a game against Turkey. And, man, all the conversation today and in actually the last couple of days has been, what does Pochettino do with a game like this? Because it is, to use an American term, Lars, dead rubber.
Yeah, that we have that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
How do you say it in Norwegian?
No, in Norwegian, I don't think we have a word for that, but we say that in the UK as well.
Oh, okay. So it's but I do think the more I think about this, Andy, the more I think that I don't think you could risk. I mean, obviously you don't risk the guys on yellows. No. If you've got anybody with even a slight knock, you don't play them. Okay? I'm not even sure you start Pulisic.
You don't start him, but
you play
20 minutes.
Right. So, but some of these other guys, I think the risk of them sitting and not playing for almost 2 solid weeks is not a good thing.
No.
So I think you do what Mexico did last night, and you play a slightly rotated team.
You do, and like we talked about on the show yesterday, the coaching staff knows which players have exerted themselves a little bit more than is ideal, and those guys will get less minutes, right, Lars?
Yeah, now almost another Swedish goal, actually. There we go. Okay, Alexander Isak on the rampage. I think, reading the quotes coming out of the camp recently, they've been emphasizing that Pochettino has had a pretty high intensity in training. He wants them to stay at it. He doesn't want anyone to relax. I think the big thing is that you go into this game with the right attitude, that you go into this game not thinking that this doesn't matter, to go in thinking like we want to put up another win. You have so much momentum currently behind the team, so many people are getting into soccer who were perhaps not excited about it before. You don't want to tank a game right now.
Right,
This is nonsense. Like, obviously, you rest the guys who are on yellow cards. I think that's a no-brainer. And like you say, with Pulisic, you got to be careful with him. But I think he's going to go pretty strong aside from those guys.
Well, it's funny. As I was watching the Germany-Ecuador game today, it suddenly dawned on me that I was worried that that's kind of what is facing us with Turkey and the United States. And, it is Turkey, who is a team who has nothing to play for. I mean, at least Ecuador had something to play for, but had not scored a goal the entire tournament.
Yeah.
Turkey hasn't exactly lit it up on the score sheet either. Are they going to show up and try today? Or are they going to give an opportunity to the guys who haven't played to play, just to have the experience of playing in a World Cup and just realize that's, there's no other value to it than that?
My feeling is that Turkey have to show something because they are already...
Just to be allowed back in the country?
Really? I mean, you joke, but I mean, I think they are very much in disgrace at home. I think this has been an abysmal tournament for them.
Yeah.
This is a team that rightly expects more, a nation that rightly expects more. I think some of the key players will be given a chance to show something. I don't think there'll be a wholesale change there, to be honest.
Okay, so the question then I think is, why would the United States be concerned about playing a team that has lost to the 2 teams that the U.S. has beaten in the group?
What I would say is that the 2 games Turkey messed up in followed a very, very similar trajectory, which was they played against the team that very much parked the bus, sat back, and got a goal. and they just weren't able to open them up. U.S. aren't going to play like that. You guys are going to come out, you're going to press, and there'll be a completely different dynamic in the game, and so it's going to look completely differently.
Andy, anything else? No? Okay. Paraguay, Australia. That game is also kicking off at 9 up in San Francisco. There's a lot going on here because you, Lars, pointed something out. Everybody keeps talking about the fact that, they're just going to tie the game because that's the thing that gets it for them both. But there's no jeopardy for either one of them. And both of them would gain an advantage by winning this game because they'd end up in second, not in third, and then, in theory, a better path.
And the right to play in Dallas, which is nice. It's a privilege, right?
Yeah, everyone wants that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out the third-place team where they're most likely to end up because second place gets you a pretty decent opponent. Not Spain, a Cape Verde, a Saudi Arabia. That's not bad for second place. Third place gets you a little bit more difficult assignment than that.
Third place means you
Germany,
likely bump into Germany most likely,
right.
and nobody wants that, even though Germany were not great today.
Now, what does this do for the game? I mean, it's got both teams got to go for it too, right?
And I think from a tactical perspective, these are both teams that have kind of excelled at sitting deep and trying to hit people on the counter, but they can both do that. So I don't really know who's gonna take charge here. I think is a very open question.
So Australia is in a better spot if it's a draw, because 4 points with 0 goal difference, it does get you through. Paraguay with a draw would sit at -2, and that's still iffy. That's right on the line.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
-1 and 4 is kind of the line right now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think Paraguay is a little bit more motivated to get the 3 points.
Yeah, we talked about our predictions last night. I'm sticking with a Turkey win just because that's what I predicted.
For the U.S.?
For a Turkey win over the U.S. But I do think the U.S. will still – my concern is the thing that Lars mentioned earlier, which is if the U.S. blows a game, does that put a giant dent in the momentum of enthusiasm here in this country?
Oh, enthusiasm?
Yeah, like with the general rank and file, hey, I'm going to follow soccer once every 4-year fan.
No, because they've advanced, and the big game is the round of 32.
Okay.
I think it really shouldn't, and I hope people who work in broadcasting do a good enough job conveying that it shouldn't.
That's your job, Lars.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Lars,
We're doing it right now.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. Very good. 9 o'clock tonight. Please come join us out of Boomerjacks. They got enough.
Be awesome.
Televisions the size of your house in here for you to come watch the game and enjoy it with all the great food and drinks and all this.
Trying to eyeball this. Is this TV bigger than my apartment or not?
The TV by itself?
Yeah, I think if you put that on the ground, it's roughly my last apartment was pretty much that size. Actually,
not the one you're staying in here in Dallas.
No, that's huge. Obviously,
that's about the size of this restaurant.
Because it's in Texas and everything is huge here.
Awesome. All right. We'll talk more about the USA as we go on along during the day. We take a break. When we come back, let's review what happened last night in Group A and find out which manager might be in big, big trouble. We'll do that next on World Cup Kick-Around. Welcome back to World Cup Kick-Around. We are live at Boomerjacks in Louisville right off I-35. Everybody should come join us out here because the USA game kicks off at 9, and they are showing both the Sweden-Japan and the Netherlands-Tunisia game live on, as I said earlier, we exactly counted the bajillion TVs here in the place. So everybody come out here, food, drink, good times, all of it's a great place to come watch the game. Boomerjacks in Louisville. Andy, you okay?
I'm good. Why?
You look like you had a big thought on your head you wanted to express.
No.
Oh.
I was just you caught me watching games.
Oh, okay.
Multitasking.
I'm not a multitasker.
All right,
that's the issue.
So about 5 minutes ago when he wasn't looking, I accidentally picked up Lars's water and drank out of his I sipped out of his straw, and I suddenly feel like I have new powers.
I was going to go the other way and say, are we both going to get some sort of spectacular illness now? But I don't think so. We're both very hygienic guys.
I'll be really good at fishing, and Lars can shoot a gun suddenly.
It'd be unstoppable. But in the break, we saw on our screen the defender for Sweden won Gustav Lagerbielke, and it gives me an excuse to bring up my favorite fun fact of the tournament.
If you're going to break out with an official pronunciation of a Scandinavian name, you have to say it slower so people can understand and learn it.
Lagerbielke. Gustav Lagerbielke.
And what position does he play?
He plays at center half. He's a defender, and he
Okay.
plays for Braga in the Portuguese league normally.
He's one of the blonde-haired guys.
Yes, one of the
Excuse
tall
me.
blondes on Sweden.
What's the English pronunciation, please, of that
I'm not
name?
sure that doesn't really have one. Just you can call him Gustav if you want.
Gustav, okay.
But the interesting thing about him, and I have dropped this fun fact before, but I'm going to re-drop it. He is technically a baron, which you don't really see very often. We still have these noble families in Europe. They don't really have any privileges anymore, but the titles still exist.
Oh, the privileges at the nightclub.
Well, that's possible. I think
I'm
you
a
do
baron.
well. You do well in the nightclubs in
Yeah.
Stockholm if you're a
That's
baron.
what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I just assumed he got free fries at the Swedish
and
McDonald's.
his father is a count and a notable public speaker and negotiating expert.
Wow.
It's true.
So if you're Swedish, are you required to refer to him as Baron Gustav?
That's a good question. I don't think you are, but you probably can.
And if you don't, you're thrown in jail?
They're not like the English where you have to do the
Or
sir
racked.
thing all the time, and people get very annoyed if you don't.
By the way, this game is 1-1, just to set the scene for the outcome and what would happen.
And he's got to talk about the actual soccer.
If Sweden scores, they'll overtake Japan for second place and would play Brazil.
Ooh.
You're thinking, oh, why would they want to do that? Because third place would likely play France. So pick your poison.
Oh, no.
Gee whiz.
This just seems bad all
Is
around.
there one a better location than the other?
They must look at the U.S. path forward and go, come on. Guys, what's
Brazil would be in the AC. New York, France would be in New York.
Okay.
All right.
And you're playing who? Bosnia?
Okay.
And then
Okay, all right.
Fiji or whoever it
Actually,
is?
This is actually a good point that Lars is bringing up. I want to get into a bit. Last night was Group A. It happened after the show. Mexico went undefeated, unscored on. They beat the Czechs last night 3-0. And I still can't look you in the eye and tell you that I know that Mexico is as good as their record is.
No, but I think you're not wrong about that. And I think this was just, in quality terms, quite a poor group overall.
It was.
This is not the South Koreans have not lived up to their potential. The Czechs have been dreadful. And really the story of the group is that South Africa managed to pull something out of nowhere. But the point about that is that it leaves us really with no good idea of whether Mexico are any good or not.
So what we do know is that in 10 matches played at the Azteca in World Cups, they played 2 already this World Cup. 7 wins, 3 draws, 0 losses for Mexico.
And this means that they will continue to play
At
in
least,
the Azteca.
yeah, the next game and on to the round of 16.
Which, if everything goes
Yeah.
well, means it is a round of 16 game in the Azteca against England.
And this, I want to pat Andy on the back here and say, I think this was a game where everything Andy keeps talking about really came into play. The travel times, the altitude, the fact that the Czechs have based themselves here in Texas where they train in the heat, because they held their own in the first half, but in the second half they faded badly.
They wilted,
Yeah.
They
And just
wilted.
playing in altitude and all this sort of stuff.
Which allowed us to continue eating our nice dinner
We had a
without
very
really
nice
having to pay a lot of
it was
attention to the
joyful.
game.
But yeah, the Czechs.
Yes, so that was the benefit of that. But as we were watching the other screen, this is huge news for one of the host countries, right? That South Africa beat the Koreans
Yes.
and advanced as a second-place team, which
Yes.
means Canada plays South Africa by virtue of finishing
that's
second.
right.
So it was planned all along by Jesse
by
Marsh.
losing.
See, you underestimate the power of his
Canadians
dementia.
are
This
just
is what
so
happens.
clever.
This is when you happen when you get a head coach who's gone to Princeton. You know, there's just
I'm
that
telling
extra
you.
brain
So,
power.
that's what
Coach
Jesse Marsh was
he
doing.
planned it all
He
along.
was sitting on the ground having a conversation
Grinning.
like,
Yeah.
I just think we hold on to this 2-1 loss
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that means we'll end up getting
Yeah.
South Africa
Yeah, this
instead
win
of the
that's-
Koreans.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
That
actually,
Jesse Marsh,
based
he's
on
so
that
cunning.
performance, I'm not sure beating Korea would have been. You know, they were so bad. This is incredible. In the post-match press conference, one of the journalists asked if the team had food poisoning.
Yes.
Just out of nothing.
Koreans.
Yes, one of the Koreans asked the coach if they had food poisoning because maybe that would explain the
Such-
level of performance.
Such a polite way of saying your team sucked.
Yeah.
You know, why?
I'm not sure it is polite, Andy Swift. I think it's a little
it's
passag.
like, so, can you tell us it was food poisoning?
If we ever did a show and after we come off air, first thing that happens is Peter asks me like, "Do you have food poisoning, Lars?" Like I wouldn't. That's not constructive criticism. That's just
It's a very polite way of saying that. Yeah.
I got about 3/4 of the way through that game, and I thought out loud to myself, the Koreans don't have a single creative bone in their body, their collective roster. They have no idea what to do with the ball when they have it, although they're really good at keeping the ball. But once they get past the half field, they just don't know what to do with it. Then, two, the next question is, how in the world did that manager not start Son in this game?
Yeah, no, it's a strange decision. He was taken off in the last game, which was a shock as well. But then you just think, okay, he's old. You want to rest him a little bit, but not starting him here is my. I want to say on the lack of creativity. They've got Lee Kang-in, who's a very good player. If you see him play for PSG, there's plenty of creativity there. I just think they're not very well coached, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, well, remember pre-World Cup, we were not high on the Koreans.
No.
And then they gave us the World Cup juke after game one. And then we're started to believe, and then only to find out game three that, hey, we had been right all along, but we were faked out.
Not good. Which takes me to this question when I come back to Mexico, and I was thinking about this today. If you go through all the groups, because of the way this tournament has set up, and there are so many top-tier teams that are in softish groups, how many teams in the World Cup, Lars, do you feel like that you have a solid handle on and go, yeah, this team is really good and is going to be dangerous in this tournament?
No, it is a very good point. It's been difficult to assess teams. I think some have had softer groups than others.
So
they tend to be the host countries, Peter. But
you could say that about the teams out of the group of Def I, which is France, Norway, because those are three really good teams all battling it out. But the Portuguese, the Spanish.
But Peter, you've been doing World Cup now for a bit.
Yeah.
How often, after group play, we feel like, oh, this is the team, or these are the teams to beat, and it's completely different once the knockouts start.
I just feel like because of the way this tournament is formatted with all the teams, we're at this point where I have this weird feeling that what we've experienced in the group stage is suddenly going to be very different once we get to the knockout
Even
stage.
more than a normal World Cup.
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be amplified.
Yeah. That's fair.
If that or magnified or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Whatever the right word is.
Hey, if you want to have a chat about how bad the format is, I'm here for that, Peter. We haven't done that yet.
Dear P1s, Lars is not happy with the expanded format of the World Cup. Let's just establish that now. Very good. Okay, so that's the end result. So Mexico goes through as the first place team. South Africa, what a remarkable story.
Yeah.
After all the World Cups they've been in, this is the first time they've ever progressed to the knockout stage. The outpouring of joy last night was just so cool to see on television. And the South Koreans are just, I don't know, 3 points and -1. Is that going to get them through? Mr. Math?
Very unlikely, but
It could do. But I'm happy for South Africa. Obviously, they had an absolute stinker on the opening day of the season, and they were very lucky to get something out of the Czechs. But they weren't bad in this game. They were combative. They ran. They stopped the Czechs from doing anything. Good on them.
All right. Well, there was a ton of soccer today that we have yet to really get into, including a couple of really, at least one interesting game in Group E. And we will take a break, and we'll do that next. Live from Boomer Jackson, Louisville, it is the World Cup Kick-Around. All right, we got 6 more big games happening tomorrow, Friday, and we'll get on to all of those, preview them, all that for you here in about 20 minutes on World Cup Kick-Around live from Boomer Jackson, Louisville off of I-35. Please come watch food, drinks, the U.S. game at 9 o'clock on all of these televisions. You will enjoy it so very much. And you know what? You can come out and meet Lars. Get a hug from Lars. He loves a hug. All right. Let's get into the action of the day. We'll start off with Group E. Those 2 games kicked off at 3. Not much to talk about in Ivory Coast 2-0 win over Curacao, Lars.
Not really. The Ivory Coast, they did enough. Nicolas Pepe, Arsenal fans, that's a blast for the past. Nicolas Pepe is still around.
My gosh.
And he scored 2 goals. Some nice work from Jan Diomanda again, who's sort of the teenage phenom of RB Leipzig, who's linked with just about every big club on the planet this summer. He played well yet again. But, Nicolas Pepe, the difference for Ivory Coast.
All right, which means out of that group, let me go to that. Oh, here we are. So the Ivory Coast will go through as the second-place team.
Yeah.
And Curacao ended up getting only a single point. Somehow I'm still mystified how Ecuador managed to figure out a way to tie Curacao, but they did. But today was their redemption game.
Yeah.
Because they faced a German team up in New Jersey who really didn't have much to play for. And I'll be damned, despite going down 1-0, They came back and scored twice. And here's the thing, Lars. This was after Germany scored.
Yeah.
It was like somebody hijacked the entire Ecuadorian team and, like, turned them into a different team. It was unbelievable how different they were once they were down and they had to score.
Yeah.
They were tremendous today.
They were good, but I think they've not been bad before. I thought they actually played quite well against Ivory Coast. They just couldn't score. And then against Curacao, they had what I would describe as a bit of a Türkiye, which means they had a lot of shots. They just kind of couldn't penetrate and all this sort of stuff. We know Ecuador are good in open play. We know they're a very defensively solid team. We know they run an awful lot. We also know they sometimes have trouble finding the back of the net. And I thought that was the case today as well. They eventually got there through a shot from, what's what you say in America? It's a shot from downtown. That's what they say, I've heard, in American sports, from Nilsson Angulo. That was a legitimate shot from downtown.
So when you hear that phrase in your Norwegian brain, what does that actually mean?
It needs to be from far out, right?
Okay, all right.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was from downtown.
Because downtown's far away.
Yes.
Right.
In Texan terms, this was a shot from the AT&T Stadium. It was from all the way out in Arlington.
Wow, that is far away.
And the winning goal was a little toe poke from a corner. That's not a great look from Manuel Neuer.
What is going on with Manuel Neuer?
He conceded a goal it happens.
Okay.
But I think the bigger question here for Germany is they decided to go strong. Like, they fielded their best 11 here. Julian Nagelsmann talked about it before the game, is that the issue isn't that they need the rest. The issue is that they need time together. He pointed out that guys like Havertz have been injured for a long time. Musiala's been injured for a long time. He wanted to give them minutes together, and the results were no bueno.
Yeah.
They did not look good at all in this game.
And I think you and I, pre-tournament, Germany was probably the traditional power we were most skeptical about, Lars.
Yeah.
You and I. Because they finished first, they're going to get an easier opponent.
Yeah.
Most likely Paraguay, maybe Australia, depending how that game turns out today. But then they likely get France.
Yes.
So, but it'll be a good test in this round of 32. But they have enough, I think, to win that game.
I was watching this game. I thought this was really poor from Germany. They have some technically very dainty and clever attacking midfielders. We know this. Musiala is going to be a brilliant player. Wirtz is an extremely talented player. Leroy Sané, got a goal, was very active. But they are quite, like, that midfield never managed to grab the hold of the game. The Ecuador pressed them into oblivion, and they stopped them from getting any kind of cohesive passing game going. And I don't really trust the defense. And Undav came on, didn't do a lot. I'm not sure Havertz is the number 9 you're looking for, sir.
Yep.
I don't trust this Germany team. I don't think Julian Nagelsmann has found all the answers yet, and they don't look very good.
And as it gets warmer and warmer, that's going to affect them a little bit as well. Because they played a game in the AC, a game in Toronto. This was their first game that they played out in the real, like, warmer elements, and you saw a little sluggishness. By the way, I mentioned it earlier during the quiz. First time Germany has lost to a South American team in group play ever in World Cup history, which is,
I also just think maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm over-egging it, but when you have this kind of game that you've tied the group up, like, you don't need a result, and there's a question, do you rest people, do you not? You decide to not rest people, and you still play badly and lose.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good. Like, that's not good for the vibes.
Yeah.
Ecuador just out-efforted them. Because
now
they needed
Ecuador,
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Ecuador had to get a win. They couldn't draw. They couldn't do anything. They had to get a win. And it was a huge deal for them because now they have the 4 points they need on a, even 0 goal differential, but they'll go through. Germany now, in terms of their placement bracket, Andy.
Yeah, like I just said, they'll likely get either Paraguay or Australia. So doable, but then they would play
That's going to be
They would play France in the round of 16.
That was kind of what I was driving at. We're going to get some very early major slobber knockers in the 32 and 16.
Now, Ecuador, large or high, they're my dark horse, but now because they finished third instead of second, it looks like the Azteca for them in Mexico in elevation.
That's an interesting game.
But there's a Latin American team that is most, out of the ones that qualified, that is most used to playing in elevation.
Right.
That would be Ecuador. So for Mexico, this is going to be a tough matchup.
I would have Ecuador as slight favorites for that one,
there
to
you
be honest.
Go.
Really?
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for Ecuador. I think they're very good off the ball. The way they press, the amount of effort they can put in. They have an issue where they don't have a good striker. Like going forward, they have some problems.
Why would you say that about Enner Valencia?
That's why they ended up slipping up against Curaçao. But they were so good at just stopping the Germany from getting play going. They have so much running power in there. I think they can make it very awkward for Mexico.
Interesting. Okay, and then the other group is happening now, as we mentioned. The Japanese and Sweden has tied 1-1. The Netherlands up in Kansas City got that game in despite the looming storms and ended up beating Tunisia 3-1. So, Andy, the group now finishes how?
Netherlands wins the group. Japan finishes second, and Sweden, in all likelihood, will advance. And I think they do qualify with 4 points and 0 goal difference. Yeah. So, which means Japan will face off against Brazil in Houston.
Congratulations.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and then, but you avoided then Sweden in New York. I'm sorry, you avoided France in New York. That's what Sweden will likely do.
And I have to say, I'm very happy I'm sure we have regular listeners who were at the games since it was here in Dallas.
Yep.
I'm glad that it got better in the second half. First half was pretty dreadful, but they've got a little bit of juice, a little bit of action in the second half. So hopefully you guys had a fun time out there.
I will also point out this was the game FIFA announced in advance that they would make the decision, and by the way, Jerry Jones isn't even in town to see this, to lower the curtains on the west and north side of the stadium. So yes, the curtains were lowered due to the 6 p.m. start time in the Death Star.
One side, I think.
For a sport, west and north side for a sporting event. Not for Taylor Swift or a concert or a monster truck show, but actual football was played with some curtains lowered. So, marvel at that miracle.
Yeah. Lars doesn't appreciate what we're trying to convey. He doesn't.
I can't even begin to imagine what the equitable controversy to the curtain drama is in
sun
Norway.
in a goalkeeper's eyes. So let's say you're playing in an indoor stadium. You have the ability to bring curtains
and
down.
You don't.
And you don't, and the sun is in the goalkeeper's eyes.
Because it's an architectural...
And it's your goalkeeper. You're the home team,
that's
and
very
it's
unhelpful.
Goalkeeper.
Why would they do that?
Because it's an architectural feature to have the sunlight pouring in on game day on television.
Yes, that looks
cool.
nice, but also people would the quarterback not be able to see anything? Because that seems very unfair.
The guy he's throwing it to can't see.
Okay.
Yeah, the wide receiver.
That's even worse.
Okay.
But it's a soap opera, 365 days a year.
I have long championed made the point that sometimes sports, maybe we should change the rules and make it goofier. Maybe we should have, if the game is 0-0 in the fourth quarter, maybe we should have, huge spotlights right in the goalkeeper's face in both ends.
To encourage a goal being scored.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then,
I'm going to jot that one down.
Yeah.
I am going to ask you guys this question right off the bat. Out of the 8 teams from these two groups that we just finished talking about that we know are progressing, who's the best of the 8? Is there a standout in the group?
It's one of those who's the tallest midget in the village type of thing. But it's a toss-up between the Dutch and the Germans, I guess.
Brazil.
No. In this particular group of 8
from today.
This group, E and F. Is there one that you're like, oh wow, there's a really good game, there's a really good team in there that's going to progress well into the tournament?
Well, they're good. They're a good tournament team because they're good on defense and strong on defense. I guess is still alive, and that's Ecuador.
Okay.
I think that game, the last 32 game between the Dutch and Morocco, is going to be feisty. Yeah. I kind of back the Moroccans to get through there, to be honest. I think the Moroccans are a better team, but that's going to be fun. We have of all the matchups that have been confirmed, that's the one that looks really spicy, I have to say.
Yep, agree.
Interesting.
So then the question is, who has a better chance of advancing into the round of 16? Ecuador playing Mexico in elevation, or the Netherlands having to do with Morocco?
So Ivory Coast get us, Norway.
Yeah, things still
unless
have to
we beat
play
France,
out.
but we're not going to do that.
So things have to play out.
Well, Germany are playing Paraguay, Australia, or Sweden. That seems like,
right.
For the Germans, they're still going to sneak through.
That should be pretty easy for them.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Interesting stuff. Fascinating World Cup action today. All right. Yes, the U.S. does play at 9 o'clock. We are out here live at Boomer Jacks in Louisville. This place has got a great crowd. There's plenty of televisions, food and drink, all of the stuff, all the sustenance and fun you need to watch the U.S. and Turkey go at it at 9 o'clock
if
tonight.
you're in the area and you haven't quite decided where to watch the U.S. game, I think this is good. This is, come on down. We're going to have a great time.
Lars doing a little
I know,
promotional
because
stuff?
of this big TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to ask someone about the square footage there. I do think that is. I've definitely lived in apartments that are smaller than this television. It's an exciting thing for me.
Lars, who is the better U.S. player of all time, who are on TV right now,
Yeah.
Clint Dempsey or Carly Lloyd?
I mean, it is probably Carly Lloyd, isn't it? As much as I enjoyed the Deuce.
I think there's probably a legitimate debate you could have
Okay.
about the significance or importance of both of those players.
Feels like a beehive to put your hand into, Peter. But there we
Yes,
go.
you didn't fall for it, Lars,
No.
though, so that's good.
Notice I did not throw in the other person on the screen, Alexi
No,
Lalas.
there was no need to do that.
I didn't throw Alexi.
Absolutely no need.
No. Love you, Lexi. All right, very good. That is what happened today in World Cup soccer. Let's get into the meat of what's happening tomorrow, preview all those games, and give out our predictions, and we'll do it next on World Cup Kick-Around. Well, here we are, 45 minutes away from kickoff of USA-Turkey out in L.A. The U.S. has just run out on the field to begin their warm-ups as they're showing it live on Fox. The lineups are out. And by the way, we are live at Boomer Jacks in Louisville. What a great place for everybody to come out and watch the game on one of these giant, there are so many televisions in this place.
Yep.
The TV budget is off the chain, kids.
Peter said off the chain.
I did. Andy doesn't care.
I got him, and he's gone.
The lineup is out. Before we get into talking about the games tomorrow and our predictions and everything, let's real quick talk about this, because this is interesting. This is the answer to the question we've been wondering now for days, which is, what does Pochettino do? Well, the answer is he essentially changes the entire team with the exception of Weston McKennie. Oh, and he also changes formations. Andy?
Don't show your cards for the next game. Just play a straight up 4-2-3-1. Get the guys some minutes. I think it's
So let me run through
normal.
the lineup. Matt Turner is in goal. Mark McKenzie is playing left-sided on a back line of four. Austin Trusty is the left-sided center back. Miles Robinson, to the horror of many people, will be the right-sided center back. And Joe Scally will be out at right fullback. It's Weston and Berhalter lining up as the two holding mids. Brendan Aronson up as the left-sided winger. Tim Weah on the right side. And yes, Giovanni Reyna starts in the World Cup as the 10 on this team, with one FC Dallas great, Ricardo Pepi, starting up top. Lars, any reaction to this?
I like it. I
Yeah?
like it. So what I said the other day is that I think what you do is you look at your squad and I think, who are the guys you'll probably be looking to give some minutes to in the knockouts? Who will you be looking to come off the bench and do some stuff? And I think Pepe has already seen minutes, so he's clearly in his thinking. Reina has come on and scored a goal, so you want to see what more he can do. Weah is always an option both at right wing and right wing back, so he's someone you might see minutes off the bench. And it's nice to see Brendan Harrison play some football. I think you take this, Berhalter as well has come off the bench. So these are guys who has been used before, and I think he wants to give them more minutes on the field to get a feel for playing in the World Cup, and also to show that they deserve to get more minutes.
Ricardo Pepi, shots on goal, the over-under, I think, is 2.5 or 3.
I can find that for you. Do you want a lot of shots from Ricardo
Yeah, I
Pepi?
think Pepi takes some shots today.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see if you agree.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to see Ricardo score a World Cup goal. It would be such a great payoff for that kid. And all of us here in Dallas that are fans of the club and him and watched him come up through the system, it would be a great prize for all of that. I am curious, Lars, tactically, are you surprised, or what do you think of the idea of moving to a four-man back line versus what they were doing against the Turks, who essentially are going to line up exactly the same way?
Kind of suspect it's more about giving minutes to the people he wants to give minutes to.
Yeah.
I suspect that's what it is. I think Pochettino, my feeling with him is that he is not always guided by formation. I don't think that's the thing he thinks the most about. I think he thinks about having the guys he wants to have on the field, and then you figure out how to fit them together.
So you've seen the Turk lineup.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about who they're going to be playing?
So I would say
is it a powerhouse lineup?
The big headline for me is that both Arda Güler and Kenan Yildiz, they're big young superstars. Güler plays for Real Madrid, Yildiz plays for Juventus. Both of those guys are starting, which is interesting. That suggests to me, again, they want to give them a chance to do something. They're very young, the both of them, but they're still kind of carrying the hopes of the nation, and they, of course, have not done it very well. So they're going to get a chance to semi-redeem themselves. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, the sort of midfield controller from Inter, is not starting. He has been benched. He's a little bit older, so maybe, but he's a big character in the group, so that is a little bit of a surprise. It's Salih Özcan and Koçtu in midfield. But yeah, the headline is Yildiz and Güler both starting.
I'm really torn. I was really thinking maybe some of the other regulars needed to keep going. And I guess they could sub in, right?
Yeah, they can come in and get the 20 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Christian Pulisic obviously is available on the bench. I would be shocked if he doesn't get time in this game.
I'd be shocked if McKinney doesn't get pulled in the 65th or so.
That's
right?
a really, really good point. 100%. All right, so that game kicks off at 9 o'clock on Fox. It's in L.A., the scenes look amazing.
That's another great-looking stadium. I mean, I speak for a number of European visitors who have found the stadiums to be one of the highlights of the tournament so far. You do a good stadium over here.
We do. We have weather to try to
Not
protect
sure about
ourselves
the location of some of the stadiums, but once you get in there.
That's just the culture thing, Lars. You get used to it real quick. All right, tomorrow, 6 big games starting. And again, another set of weird starting times. So 2 o'clock. Explain this one to me, Andy. 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 10 o'clock.
Well, they are, spread out to give us some rest. I don't know. Yeah.
We can all go to the grocery store or something. 2 o'clock, Lars will have his eyes peeled for the big game, Norway versus France.
Yeah.
Out in Boston.
We're going to rotate as well. Ståle Solbakken, our manager, has said that there will be changes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not going for the win.
You're always going for the win, but I think we're realistic about the fact that we are playing an extremely good team. Even if we play our best 11, balance of probability is this is going to be a difficult one. And we do need to rest some of the guys. You saw towards the end of the Senegal game, we had several players starting to get cramps or feeling it. So, physically, it's been a big load on some of these players, and I think you want to rest some of them.
Plus AC. Second place gets you an air-conditioned venue
in Dallas. And Lars gets to go to the game.
They're like, well, Lars will be there. We got AC.
I mean, they're going to do it for
rest
you.
the guys.
Solbakken was asked, will Erling Haaland's sort of hopes of maybe winning a golden boot be part of his decision-making? And he was very clear that is something he does not care about. And he used the phrase that if I translate it literally, we'll get in trouble.
Lars,
so Solbakken extremely clear that he does not care.
The New England weather tomorrow, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, well, I see you switch it to Celsius for you. 25. And but humidity at 70%.
Okay.
So the wet bulb temp is going to be a little dodgy.
The French are going to rotate as well, so this is going to be a strange old game.
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't have the show the day after Norway won, did we? So we haven't really reveled in our success. But I have to, just since we're on the subject, say that was a huge deal for us. Beautiful scenes in the aftermath of that. I loved our coach running into the stands to kiss his wife. That was very nice. Ståle Solbakken immediately made a beeline for his wife out in the stand. Very nice. We had Brede Hangeland go over to credit the stand-in right back, Marcus Pedersen, who of course was not meant to start. Julian Ryerson, usually one of the first names on the team sheet. Marcus Pedersen came on and scored the opening goal and ran until he very literally couldn't run anymore. He was cramping up badly towards the end. So you had Brede Hangeland, formerly of Fulham, now the team manager, coming over and giving him a cuddle as he was light out on the grass.
All right.
Lovely scenes.
France still wins the game? In your
I think
mind?
so.
Yeah?
I think
I have them 3-1.
Yeah.
I got them 3-2 in my
3-2,
preseason.
okay.
I have it. Oh, no. I had predicted this as a hockey sticks draw.
Oh, wow.
1-1.
Okay.
All right. I did. Okay. By the way, this is also a absolute killer kit matchup. It is Norway in their red flag kit versus France in their Statue of Liberty homage, which is kind of the copper color or kind of minty color kit, which is pretty fantastic. Yeah. That's a big one. So that'll look good tomorrow. The other game in Group I, Senegal and Iraq in Toronto on FS1. any comments about that right quick?
I just have it down as a 2-0 win for Senegal. I think Senegal are actually a really good team. I thought they were a little unfortunate against Norway, actually. We're getting a little carried away now in Norway after that win, but the reality is if Senegal hadn't made disastrous defensive errors, that game could have been much more difficult for us. I think Senegal's going to win this.
For any chance of advancement, Senegal needs to win and to win by a lot. So
and not happening.
I have it as a 2-0 win for.
I have 2-0 as well.
I also have 2-0.
Boring.
Dear listener, we have not coordinated this.
Wait, have we gotten to the lock yet? Have you decided what your lock was?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay, awesome. Hold on.
Hold on with the sound effect.
Okay,
all right.
Not there.
7 o'clock. It's Cape Verde and
Okay.
Saudi Arabia. This is the game I told everybody if you wanted just to go to a World Cup game on the cheap, go to this one down in Houston.
Have you checked
I
prices?
should probably look prices and see. While you guys talk about this, I will look up prices real quick.
Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, this is pre-tournament. I put them down as 0-0.
Yeah.
And I am very happy with that pre-tournament prediction. I think it all played out to a 0-0.
So I think this, when I looked at my whole thing, this is where I thought this was going to be the first big upset. And would you even call it an upset? I mean, Saudi Arabia, not exactly a powerhouse, but Saudi Arabia have beaten Argentina in World Cup recent history. I thought Cape Verde is going to win this because I kind of saw Cape Verde not being terrible coming. I knew they had a bit of juice to them.
They're undefeated. They have 2 draws.
I did not think they would be able to hold Spain and Uruguay, but I did think out of the quote-unquote minnows, Cape Verde are not a bad team, and I think they'll beat Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, remember this about this match. Spain and Uruguay are going to play the other one. Uruguay has to win or at least draw to be able to advance as a third-place team, but win would get them second. The fact that Uruguay plays Spain opens the door for Cape Verde or Saudi Arabia for one of those with a win, probably gets you second place.
Believe in Cape Verde.
Wide open
believe in
game,
them,
right?
Nuts. Yeah, the price to get in right now on the third-party market, the cheapest is $600.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. No,
So
that's actually
so much for my sub $100 deal.
But that is an interesting data point about the tickets are selling. The empty seats we were worried about. It's not happening.
No. In fact, that's the other thing they set a record with today is occupancy percentage for a World Cup at 99.7.
Yes, but that, of course, include everyone who's in the concourse, knowing FIFA.
All right.
I've seen the stadiums; they're all full. Except
I know,
that one
but you
game.
don't get to live that one down.
And
If you're going to lie that brazenly, you don't get to live it down.
I have Cape Verde 2-0 and Uruguay Spain tied at 1-1. That's my prediction.
Wait! You're going too fast, Peter. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. What?
I have Cape Verde winning 2-0.
Okay.
And I have Uruguay and Spain 1-1.
Yeah, me too. 1-1. And you, Lars?
1-0 Cape Verde and 3-1 Spain.
I got to speed up a little bit because
Yes,
Jay
go,
wants to do
go.
top 10. 10 o'clock, Group G. These are late games. This is going to be some fantastic World Cup After Dark. The Pride match in Seattle.
Yes.
Man, this is such a fascinating
Could not have planned that better.
I can't believe this. Egypt and Iran both playing a game under protest because it's the Pride night in Seattle that had been planned before the draw took place on FS1. Other than the obvious, any thoughts about or your prediction? I have it as a 1-1 draw.
I do too.
I have Egypt to win this, and that is my lock. Egypt to win. I just think Iran, all the adverse circumstances in the third game, it's going to really
catch up to them.
Yeah, I think it's going to catch up to them.
What score?
1-0 Egypt.
Okay.
And I had it 1-1. And then the next one is New Zealand and Belgium. This one obviously important for Belgium. They need the points because they're playing New Zealand, which is the lowest ranked team in the tournament. That is in Vancouver. I have that game. Where is my – wow. What am I doing? I have this as a New Zealand 1-0 win.
That's a very rogue shout.
I
love that for you.
I think
Were
I had
you drunk?
taken some heroin
Okay.
before I did that pick.
I have 2-0 Belgium.
I have 2-1 Belgium. They've been real stinky, but I think they can get there. Jemmy Doku is back from observing the birth of his child, and I think Belgium will do something at last.
I think what I had was Belgium was already on 6 points, so they just farted the game away, and that's why, because they were going to be first anyway.
Yeah.
So
all right.
there we go.
Okay.
All right, now before we go, it is time for the answer to Andy's nightly World Cup question. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, okay. The quiz. Any guesses? This is the
Italy.
only country from Europe, European superpower that's never lost to a South American team in group play in World Cup history. Your guess is Italy.
I think the trick
Your
question
guess
is that they're not here, so we don't think about
Your guess
them.
is
The Dutch.
Peter has gotten one wrong.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
I keep overthinking these.
Because it's always related to a team playing that day, right? Was that your hint?
Baby Jesus has
Was that
shined
your
upon
hint?
me.
It's always based on somebody playing.
Yes.
Okay.
So bad.
I feel so relieved.
Okay.
Very good. And did we get Lars's lock of the night, by the
Yeah,
way?
it's Iran. It's
Yes.
Egypt to beat Iran.
Okay, very
There we
good.
go.
I just want to make sure everybody heard the fun sound effect.
Okay.
I can sleep tight tonight.
Lock of
because
today landed, by the way. Sweden, Japan, both teams to score. Here we go.
All right, very good.
It's looking up.
Very, very good. Well, if I had remembered to bring my iPad so I could start the closing music bed, I would have
Yes.
done that. Unless you guys have it there, we're all good. Okay, very good. There it is.
Wow.
Whoa.
That is some good
Jay and Michael
Dang.
Dixon are my heroes.
producing.
All Jay.
Oh, you guys, I love
Michael
you both
getting no
so
credit.
much.
You're doing a good job, you too, Michael.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to the
Buddy,
engineering crew out here. A lot of people didn't. I can't. But anyway, thanks to the engineering crew for kicking ass out here at Boomer Jacks. Hope everybody stays and watches the U.S. game. Michael Dixon producing, Jay King running the board.
You think they came out just for us and then they go home when the U.S. play? I have a feeling they're going to stay, Peter.
Go USA. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here on America's favorite radio station. It's World Cup Kick Around on the Ticket.